This is a step-by-step on how I painted this front door. It's just your standard metal front door. So the first step that I'm doing is I'm just sanding the front door using 80 grit, nothing too heavy, and then I'm pulling out my caulk. After I clip the end of my caulk, I like to use that little spike to go into the caulk tube. That way it breaks down anything that dried up. Next, I'm just getting my brush out. I'm using that angled Purdy brush. It's got soft bristles for a nice finish. And by the way, the color I'm using is called Tricorn Black. All products I'm using you can get at your local Sherwin-Williams. So, you might be asking yourself, how do I know where to begin? I generally like to start with the boxes. Now, not all front doors have boxes like this, but I just want to get these out of the way. That way I can smooth out my finish on the horizontal lines and the vertical lines. So I brush on a section and then I whiz roll a section. When using a whiz roller, you don't want to use something that gives off a lot of stipple. Well, while painting a front door, you don't. You want that finish to look like a spray job. So I finished the top and middle boxes, so I'm just doing the sides going downward and then finishing off the boxes. Another thing is when brushing on the paint, you don't want to wait too long because it'll dry up on you, get really tacky. So only do sections at a time. Sometimes my ego gets ahead of me and I do more than I think I can. So you want to play it safe and make sure it's still wet before whiz rolling. Now you can start on the sides before you do the face of the door, or you can do as I'm doing and doing it last. Just make sure that the excess paint that gets onto the front door, you whiz roll afterwards. That'll dry up and look ugly. And after 2 coats of paint, the door is done. Take the weather stripping out before closing the door, and after about an hour or two, it should be solid and dry.